to invite. To the listeners and supporters, fans, well-wishers, just about a very pleasant and blessed good morning to now. Today, by God power, on Tuesday, March 26, 2024, from the Salon Talk Forum, where they deal with issues, comments, and analysis. We, as a matter of fact, me friends them Guinea by God power. Then they also stream live and live. This na Kutubuko Oma, they come with a very special edition where exclusively they deal with the political tsunami we don't take place now Senegal. But before we dive into that and look at implications and ramifications on the part of the other African countries where they smart under the road of dictatorship on the part of the sit-tight leaders we know the we go. First, I want to ask now all for follow me now, for share, comment, and also the cool returner. There's a YouTube page where them Kutubu Koma, the YouTube page. Please, at the actioner, follow now access that YouTube page because like we say, the YouTube page, they help greatly now. So please, I want to access them. And equally so, like I say, I want to share. Lona follow me. Lona comment. And again, like I say, the YouTube page is very important for Lona Goody. Lona also, like her. Today is a very important day in the politics. Now, one of the African nations the nation in question, Senegal. As we know, Senegal in a French colony. So obviously we don't get the independence. I think in the 60s we all go remember where the wave of independence came at the between the 50s and the 60s. We start with Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana. We are the first nation that, especially in the sub-Saharan country in West Africa, the first country will get independence. So in that rapid succession, the other countries they said beyond the try to forget independence. But what happened during this independence? When the colonial masters go, the African leaders we come. We been if you see the democratic structure where the colonial people they left. The hope was that they go follow that trend. Then go follow the trend. But unfortunately, it can't be say they not follow the trend. The leaders we come, they not follow the trend. It was dictatorship after dictatorship. Waiting they do, they dismantle everything we get for do with democracy or the main ingredient with the enhance and sustain democracy, the rule of law. Waiting they do, they get it in them. Anything we get for do with the rule of law, we now the ethical foundation and the moral compass. We now in the guarantee the very existence of any society waiting and do then dismantle completely. In a place waiting, we go to call the swamp of totalitarian madness. Leaders they emerge with very actuated by the sheer vanity of power. Power, everything are power. Become very intolerant of opposing views. And the only views they way they want that the one will be proffered by a bunch of sycophantic carpet bagging vultures. Meaning that the one that will praising them, the one that will glorify them, that they can even on the face of the cataclysms of hopelessness and colossal failures, and the leaders and get people that will sing praise them, then turn them to demigods and all that. So this, in fact, now the principal reason is where the African politics Iraq with military dictatorship. The African politics, the good number of the African countries na dictatorship 90 days. But by God power, the narrative don't they change small. It don't they change small by God power. It don't they reach to a point where the African nations, the leaders and where they get for understand say we now live in an era where the citizens there they not tolerate this anymore. Of course, we see the Arab Spring, where sweet guys like whose name will back them out of power. Actually, all of them guys in that area, we see what in the Arab Spring do them. We eliminates the all. We see them. So by and large, this remnant still there. We even see how an old pa na France, na they Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, where he direct a revolution against the Shah of Iran with all the military might where he gets. We also see that in the Philippines, where one mami, it gave Marcos to come up on power. Aquino, it gave Marcos here in West Africa. We don't see this in rapid succession. We don't see this. So yesterday, now on a big day this in African politics. Now a very big day. What did happen? The baton by God power, the baton of leadership, now it only shift to the younger generation now. Yesterday, we see where they pronounce a young man as the new president in Senegal. How this come about? Then we go back to the history of this, how this may happen. This man way before be president na Senegal, somehow down the road, he run afoul, of the laws of whatever reason, he's been locked up constantly by Macky Sall of all. We see how Macky Sall fought for camp and power. We see the length where he go to for camp and power, only for try for deny and destroy the very foundation on which way he is brought into power. We see where Macky Sall try for waiting for doctor the constitution so he will remain in power. For double down on in brinkmanship, we see where he announced the election not going to take place. Put the whole country in turmoil, chaos, disorder, criminal violence, take hold inside the political firmament of the nation. But just the way I even talked this yesterday, and I can't repeat them back. We get for thank the philosophers then of the 16th century, people like John Locke them, that are the great English philosopher John Locke. Then we also look at the esteemed French Jewish, that man, what they call Montesquieu. or just the secondant, waiting they come up with. They come up with an experiment waiting for, limit the power where leaders in the exercise, that totalitarian power, that dictatorship power, them where they only accountable to their own whims, risks, and caprices. We see where they frame a new concept of governance. Waiting at the new concept of governance, where they come up with. They come up with one way, for lessen the powers of leaders by dividing government. So in other words, they come up with this tripartite system where you get a legislative arm of government, where now the parliament, the body, the supreme body, when they make the laws of any nation, and the laws that when they make that the nation now in they serve as the ethical foundation and the moral compass for the very existence of the society. They also come up with an executive branch, and that the people them where they in the day-to-day management. Now they get prime ministers, presidents, cabinet ministers, they can do your job. Now the day-to-day affairs them through the prisms of the laws and where the supreme body they pass, meaning that the parliament, whatever they do, it get for synchronize with waiting the supreme law with the parliament not pass, because the parliament are the highest legislative organ. Then so that what they do, this is where Charles the Secondant, the great French jurist, where we call Baron Montesquieu, that he come with another one, the third branch. The third branch will come with the judicial branch of any nation. In your fiat or in your remit, now for make sure say the laws, they interpret the laws as they are. Because like we say, the laws of any nation now they act as the the bastion for the people, the constitutional liberties, the laws. They now Ingo guarantee them. And what they the people that what they call the judge them. They your job, the only thing way they for interpret the laws them, for make sure say the laws are uniformly applied, for make sure say nobody they way so highly placed for the reach of the law. Nobody, in other words, everybody in office or you status, they under the law. Nobody, your situation, you status in society, the position where you hold in society, you not go bigger past the law. Because you derive your authority from the laws. So you cannot be seen or said for be bigger past the laws of the society. No, you know they work that way. So with people like, as a matter of fact, this nine lead to what we call the Magna Carta. I don't know how many of you some familiar with British history and all that, or British jurisprudence. But if a good number of you now are aware of that, we are going to recall the rule of King John, where in Beirut's name in 1215. They force them for go to a place where they call Runnymede. They go force them for let it sign that Magna Carta, meaning that the supreme law, the law. That Magna Carta they now go into the makings of United States, Constitution, where they divide, government, where and make sure say everybody, all the three branches of government, equal and checkmate each other. So bringing this narrative now to Senegal, because the reason why I go around this so, and not just one go directly say, oh yeah, yesterday they don't elect a president in Senegal. Yes, I know it. But we got for find out waiting at the Indian system, waiting go into the election of the new man in Senegal. We need for go into that. And before that happen, they get cause for go through convulsions and vicissitudes them before that happen. But because of the potency of the judicial system now the country, where the courts they stand firm, because don't forget, see, Macky Sall be not talk, see, election not will take place, especially on the date where the election will take place. He alone, without any constitutional authority, indecisive election not go take place. Waiting that result to people then young at the street, chaos, disorder, brigandage, destruction of property, and lives kicked inside the narrative there. But thank God for the resilience of the citizens, the determined resilience of the citizens, backed up by a fearless court, a court where get Jewish them, where they only a concern now the application of the law. We thank God for the judiciary na Senegal, because if not to be the judiciary, this election not before take place at all not. But the judiciary stand firm. This accounts for the argument we will always put. We already argue this. So the only reason where their leaders they get away with this swamp of totalitarian, madness, this dictatorship on their part, when they get away with them, then they get away with them because of the complicity of the court system. Then. The court system, the judicial system, that they're responsible for the plight where citizens they go through. Because they refuse to hold the governors then or the administration them accountable. They do that. What happen, they don't compromise, the judicial system. The judicial system don't be part of them. So when you get that, that's the end of our society. Yes, this new man, like we talk, say he don't get elected. And the good thing about your election, he was elected on your birthday, Daniel. And jail is a come out. Jail na they come out. So what did the man remind me of? He remind me of how Kwame Nkrumah also get into power, where na jail he come out, where he go be prime minister na Ghana. Then he cascade into the presidency. But instead, the very thing that way affects the colonial administrators now he back on. We see the swamp of totalitarian madness on the party. They get calls for removal of February 24, 1966 in the military coup. Now, this new man don't get elected, we tell God thank you. The message now to Macky Sall is, with all this in bragado show, is showboating in sense of bigness, in sense of excellence, in sense of fixed ground, or when that falls, and in brinkmanship, one branch of government hold them accountable. The branch of government will hold them accountable. Then the court said, no, the election will take place there. And Macky Sall was shown the forest of red flags. The siren of a warning bell. They ring at that he not go stay in office past the time where he for the in April. For the day. They make that very known to us, very clear. So, like we already talk, Naya, the most potent weapon, not to the army, no, with all the guns, not to the army. The most potent weapon, where they are at the disposal of any nation. Now, the determined will of the citizens, then. The determined will of the citizens, a potent past here, that Nagasaki bomb or Hiroshima bomb where America be drop na Japan. When the people they don't decide, say this, we don't get enough of this. Hey, that leader they go kill everybody. When the citizens they don't decide, say yeah, what's it go be now go be. They call that the people's might, the people's will. Now, a very potent for now up in Senegal. So, one man to say no election no will take place now. They say no election will take place now. What did happen within the judicial system? They get solace within the judicial system. They get a succor inside the judicial system. Come give a gravitas to the struggle of the people there. They say yes, election will take place. They told Macky Sall, so election will take place now. Now, you don't get you. What you know happen? Now, the people are not driven and come on our office. They driven and come on our office. You don't get no choice. If we see African, if full of this military rule, incessant, military intervention. Now, guys like Macky Sall them, guys like Paul Biya demo, guys like Museveni demo, guys like Paul Kagame demo. Now, them are the reason why we get this frequent military incursion into the politics. The reason they don't become the society and the society don't become them. To them, now they are the laws. They don't get no respect for the law. They go do everything possible for just for elongate the hold in power. But we thank God, waiting not happen in Senegal. Waiting not been also. Now we go call and say a back-to-back, meaning that Liberia said by God your power, they may not hold their own election, a very peaceful election, a transparent election where it make we in Africa, we're very proud of them. Especially the way where President George Weah carried himself, where he conceded defeat very quickly. He not only conceded defeat very quickly, but he also helped for a short, smooth transition to a predecessor. This now the sort of politics is one seat. The sort of politics is now one seat. Power, now maybe they define power. Power, they flow from the people, by the people, and it exists with a legitimate consent. Now, this is what they call power. I mean, they call it people's power. It flow from the people. Now they get the power. The one they wasted on the executive mansions, them will not just stay there no more for exercise power on behalf of the citizens. Now they get the power. The most powerful people them are the citizens. Not to the leaders anymore. Because you did it, now then put you there. When we see leaders and the result to excuse me. Where the result to moral arrogance, then if you say now a divine right, now a birthright, now circumstantial freedom for letting dinner power. No. And where they get the there be all this kind of Berlin wall around them. They try for erect, things and we go, Hamburg, the governors. I mean, it can look really funny. Again, like we say, Macky Sall with all this showboating, waiting, you don't come out. Now, the man where actually before, when they look say 9 for run. For some reason, I think say waiting happen there, common sense prevail over opportunistic calculation on the part. And in order for be, selfish than a sanko, in order for be selfish, for say pauper any. What do he do? He think of the good of the country. He put the country first. When with the politicians in the salon, they always talk say, let them put the country first. But the actions, them not the time for dovetail, the pronouncement there. It is one thing for go make that pious declaration there, make that kind of a clarion call, to all kind of talk about putting the nation first. But your actions, what you una do, now you go give gravitas to that concept, say putting the leader for. Mr. Sanko don't look pain say, the country of Senegal big pass in ego. What he do? It settled on the man who win this election. He settled on them. He settled on the man. And by God's power, the citizens, they really are, how old is this guy? The guy is just 44 years old. The youngest democratic leader. We don't imagine Africa is just 44. Relatively. And what I say about the guy, it looked like an intellect because the guy English now emote. I say, wow, if you are saying a Frenchman, the guy is very articulate. So the hope now here is, as watch inside this new phenomenon. We don't come in way. It get for understand one thing, and this is exactly now waiting. We can't preach. Yes, it don't come in office on a note of euphoria. In all he do, he need for be guided with one fundamental understanding. Now the people then they put on the people in order that because na in birthright or na in constitutional right for the no. He did it because of the validity of the sanctity of the ballot box in a democratic exercise which was totally unencumbered by infractions of principle. This is what the people said. They said, okay, now you we want Naya. Now you we want Naya. So indeed for understand. Say ideyanda for do the people's work. One thing you get for now, get for be a power in focus, not for the Gallivant, the universe, they go up and down, Then every country, in every side. That is not what he has now been elected for. Yes, of course, he not go engage in what we call isolationist politics, where he will isolate himself from the other, because the one that a global village, where they get for interact. But in so doing, the president now get for also make sure say let the deputy give people then what you call accreditation then let them deputize and let them represent them. Yes, in most cases them it will go some of them major coffee, but some of them side coffee. After us, we now down there in an age where a leader not get for be physically present all the time in other country, get because we get technology. For example, the leader na Senegal, he can take the phone, he talk to the leader na Gambia. If there's anything where they for do, now then they call telephone diplomacy. So you get all kind of you don't get for jets na the place, go all kind of a delegation, no more follow and go sit down talk. Where thing when we talk over the phone, even signing of communiques and signing of documents, the technology is so there. All they need for to scan and put them through the machine. You go to the machine, you go initial up, you go back. Because the reason why we talk say their leaders say so they need for hold back on their travel here, it cost the citizens too much money, and the lives of citizens are condemned to abject poverty and unspeakable misery. So the leaders cannot afford for they involved in this kind of profligacy, this kind of wasteful expenditures. No. The youth say that Senegal, they not a good number of them, they not get jobs here. They don't get jobs there. So waiting for engage this new man attention now, how you go try for create, an enabling environment, especially for the youth them. How you go try, create, incentives them. Also, waiting in need for doing also, no government not go hire everybody. We need for make it very clear. The government alone not get the resources for hire everybody. Now that make you get the business industry inside America within also. The workforce, 80% of the workforce now from the private industry. The private industry they in the hire. The private there. But what the government they do? They give incentives there. They give tax breaks them to people there. You get a tax breaks them. So we tax breaks them. Then you be able for the economy, you be able to hire people there. There is something they call me not to Frenchman or not Sabi French, but the really is beaucoup French the way as Sabi, what you call laissez-faire. Meaning that the government also therefore hold down on regulations there, then bureaucratic regulations. Inside this country, how would this so? How the country they derive the federal government they derive now taxation, tax. Two things now in America now we're very certain. Debt and pay taxes. No matter what you happen, to they take place in America, death that way person die, we inevitable. And for pay tax, once you okay, pay tax. Taxes now they care this country I go before nine whole. So waiting this new administration now Senegal for do. They're going for streamline the tax pay in such a way that tax pay become a matter of must. Anyhow, anybody do it get for be a matter of must. Businesses them now this country are. How they do it? When you don't register your business done, there is so much where you expect for pay to the government at the end of the year. Hey, whether your business you prosper, you don't put that you once you don't open that bill, you don't register. So now that make even the business there. Minister not they send anybody now. They say, hey, that minister say let a company hire me. No. The man will get be there, they determine who that he go wants now in place, who that he go wants there. So now I use the word laissez-faire. So the government itself get for make sure say they not breathe down on the necks of the business people there. You get forget, a capitalist economic system where they flow. You get forget a competition. The government cannot be seen they meddle in the affairs of business people. No, it cannot be seen doing that. There be a free competition. That day in this country also. If are they working at this street also, are they drive the street? Are they look the sign there? Who side they sell petrol? Are they look who side cheaper and there they go? If one man in the sell you $2 for gallon, they are able to go to a place where they sell 50 cents for gallon. Now they are they go. Now then they call competition. Because even as we talk about Senegal today, they also one time we bring order, explaining it. More talk about the phone user salon or the internet user salon. Because competition not in the place. What you happen and a monopoly don't they in the country where make communication at the country is very different. Also they so na make so the communication system also the phone use, the internet use and oriented. It among all the competing forces where government in hand not it. If you no one go to this phone company, you go to that phone company, you go to that phone company, you go yonder. Now competition because there is no way where any country go advance economically when competition not there. What can they talk about countries like China, countries like Russia, then super see the United States. We say no, go happen because now free enterprise they did. Now competition they did. Countries like China, Russia, and now dictatorship they did. Now what's in the old part they decide. All things at the state get them. All things at the state get them. But no, not to the state. Even institutions they now private industry, all the major institutions where they able Harvard, Yale, MIT, now private people they get them. There's nothing like government, like the University of Salon say, government university. No. Now private people there. So then they develop the way they want. Then they come up with the policies and where go right within the guidelines where the federal government put. But everything else, nothing like private enterprise. Now I made this country and not go ever go down. So as we talk about waiting up on Senegal, we commend this new man we don't come, where we say in just he need for understand the facts. He not just come out from the tree, now they go na the palace. No. Now on the backs of the people, them, the citizens and the backs that they. The judiciary also na Senegal, they don't start fine. Now the work where the judiciary work na Senegal, when they stand up to Macky Sall is subterfuge, they stand up to in Orwellian, tactics, in mendacious tactics, and in Machiavellian approach. When they challenge them, they challenge in settled assumption. They say, no, election will take place now. If the judiciary be back, then we remain quiet. This is exactly where the great English philosopher Edmund Burke, where he said, all evil need for let thrive, let good people not do nothing. Let them resort to inaction, let them not do nothing. Then evil will thrive. if the judiciary in Senegal will remain quiet, they don't do nothing, they pass it. Macky Sall would have got away with evil. Forget away with evil, because what we need for understanding, the armed force system that they country they are, so the security force system and all that thing, they don't misrepresent their role under the constitution. They don't come for see themselves as part of the day of the government of the day. We're very wrong. Yes, the government of the day, but they need for understanding, they derive their mandate from the constitution. For example, the armed forces, the role of the armed forces that any country, not to for be part of the political process, not to foresee themselves as an integral part of the government of the day. Una your job, yes, the civilian boss them that they're going to, but una primary job now the preservation of the territorial integrity of the sovereign nation from expansionist design or domination by any outside forces. Now, una your job not to for be part of the political process. You cannot allow yourself to be used by the politicians there for violate the human rights of citizens there. And this exactly now this nine make their leaders are not the come up and power, because once they get the backing of the armed forces now that then they brutalize the citizens there. All the strength when they get so, when they say they get so, now because of the security forces in the back there, because the security forces don't the back there, then you know get a very independent and fearless, no leader, no go resort to that TNA. Plus the importance of also getting a free press. So the new leader in Senegal therefore understand also that the press now an integral part of the political process in the country. They your job. Now for inform the citizens them as they see things and not to as they think of, because there's a big difference between how you think about something and how you see them. How you see them. How you see them. For example, we friend na Guinea, that are the big man so-called General Mamadi Doumbouya. We see today what will happen. How it's just don't result to suppressing press freedom in the country. The way they interfere with the internet and all that thing, the job because the people they report. And it is a job of the press for report on what they happen. Now they your job that day. It is the job of the press for report fairly. But then wanna get a situation where members of that kind of institution they don't compromise themselves, they don't become brown envelope receivers them, they don't join the choir for the praising leaders them, and they write things them where they resonate with the leaders them, then that's also the point. But if they write things them where actually, as I say, for example, I can give an example. The 5th or 7th president of the United States, I believe the 37, 142, Richard Milhouse Nixon. Would I bring Richard Milhouse Nixon down there doing that Watergate saga? Now the press, led by two brave young people there. Younger than this current president when they know it so. One of them named Carl Bernstein, the other one named Bob Woodward. The reports them where they begin about the Watergate bringing President Nixon in complicity inside the thing. Other than I have helped Mr. Nixon come up and power without they not fire a single shot. And then with a very determined Congress, Parliament, because we need to understand the new president Senegal need to understand see, the Parliament and the supreme body. The Parliament in Senegal, just like any other country, if they seek with a constitutional responsibility now they're the supreme body, then they hold the president accountable. How did they do so? Through investigations, through hearings. The parliament of any country, but this time we particularize them to Senegal. The only job where they get under the constitution now for make laws whole investigations. And here is now the only job that way any parliament get. They don't get no other law. Now make us study discussion. And we talk about the role where the great French jurist Baron Montesquieu, which then we come up with the concept of a judiciary, where the Castaway and John Locke, where they collaborate and come up with a new frame of governance, where now they discuss country also, where now responsible for the exceptionalism of the United States also. The parliament, that could say, now the supreme body, when they establish government and parliament come first. But the reason why the African leaders they don't see themselves as the masters, the be all and end all, the alpha and omega, the Iyakina Budu Iyakina style, where they say now them now the society. Now because you get a parliament or you get parliamentarians where they capitulate to cowardice and cravenness, where they know they hold the leaders accountable. And there was a time at Salon where parliamentarians and they go beg the Minister of Finance. I think by then was it Kefala Bara or something like that. Then they go ask for them a monument. Halupina, I just shake me. I say, oh boy. Waiting for Apple now the administration now for beg money from the parliament. And we take God thank you because of waiting. One of the principal responsibility of a parliament, to get two sets of parliament, you get the House of Representatives and the Senate, and the House when are the lower body. Now, in charge of finance in this country also, the president of this country are not going to spend a single penny of the citizens' their money, if he don't get the approval of parliament. He will not. We can when they say they shut down the government. Then they shut down the government because the parliament refused to go along with the budget. It go along with the, if you say there's so much of profligate spending. So these are one of the powers that where the parliament get, the House of Representatives get, for make sure say the president don't spend a single penny. No. They have been, you get what you call the General Services Administration now, the GAO, where they monitor and regulate how the citizens' money. Then the National Bank, where we call Bank of America, there they call it the Fed, or Bank of Senegal, where now the National Bank, where now the people's money they not just go they dish out money to an administration like that. Anytime when the administration want money, no more than go in like that. No, you cannot. There has to be, structure, systems, regulations, how now they get money. But this is not the apple that they. So what would they talk about good governance? These are the structures that they were. Now the foundation and they are then things and where they include for enhance and sustain good governance. These are the things and where if you see United States, they talk saying they're great. United States, they talk about the exceptionalism. These are the reasons and why they do this, because they put structures, systems, foundations, and everything. I can tell anybody without any shade of doubt, United States is self-governed even without a leader. Even without the leader, you're there for the prestige, the honor, for the how they call it, the grand house. He did it. For example, on the 15th of April, where they cancel every citizen where they work now, where America they pay tax. They don't get for run after you say go pay tax. So from the president, take hand down, everybody they pay tax. Why? That's what the law say. This is not the importance of the law. Not to what the president say. Neither the president not go evade paying tax. No. It not go happen. Not to so the president say let everybody go pay tax. No. That's what the law say. And the president cannot evade paying tax. Now serious and criminal offense for her. This is how a society where they progress. This is how it functions. The plane where the president is right now, one of the best planes that we can even think of. The citizens, they make another new plane for a new set of planes. But guess what? Now the citizens, they get that plane when they call Air Force One. The president, they use them anyhow. They only use them on doing official business. They use them anyhow. Neither in West not go use the plane, the Air Force One, where the president not did it. The only time when the president in West they use Air Force One, he get for day with the president. So in other words, they go as a guest of the president. Now I mean they don't get co-president. Now the co-president now the one where the citizens they elect with the president. The president now not go fire the vice president. So the new man na Senegal need to understand all of this. He don't get no power for fire the vice. Once they elected or two, they elect or two. The only way when they go fire the vice president and the president, you get what they call impeachment. Crimes against the state, not to crimes against the party. We need to make this known to the leader, the new man Senegal. Say not to crime against the political party by which he spring into office. More assume say violation they will take place there. The vice president commit violation at the party. Because we hear, especially in Salon, and they accuse people of anti-party activities. No, they're not total, absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The only time where a vice president will be removed from office, it got for be an egregious crime against the sovereign nation of Senegal, not to a nation against the political party, where now elect the president to, neither not to an offense against the president. It got for be an offense against the dignity of the state of Senegal. Then how does that happen? The parliament come inside there. The job of the parliament, they hold investigations, they hold hearings there. And where they conclude, say you get a copy of evidence now, yeah, there are means of evidence now for proof say yeah, the vice president violates the constitution. Then that a removal will be kicked. The process will kick in. But short of impeachment on grounds when a violation of the supreme law, when that make before you enter into office, you swear for defend and uphold the constitution of the nation against foreign and domestic. People can tend to forget a fundamental misconception about their oath. Inside America, oath very important. You face cases now because you violate the constitution, either of the state or of the country itself. So these are all the things that when the new man Senegal for understand, yes, they get into an office on a state of euphoria, on a note of euphoria, but in need for understand the citizens that they power now in the exercise. You don't get that power, they all on EU. No. Now the mistake that way enough for make things say because you don't need it now the Lord and monarch. No. The people they get right for protest, we need to talk about this also. They get right for demonstrate because all these are part of the participatory democracy. They get right for express their opinions, not necessarily opinions that will be tailored in any way, will meet the idiosyncrasies of the leader. No. You cannot do that. Then they express opinions and not to eat the opinions the way you want. But these are one of the human rights, these are one of the democratic rights, these are one of the constitutional rights and the right of free speech. We need for preach this also in Senegal. Because without free speech, it becomes totally meaningless for anybody they lay claims to democratic and nonsense. Waiting they essentially uphold and enhance democracy. Waiting will make anybody lay moral claims to be a democratic entity. When the citizens get the right for express themselves in any shape and form, when they get the rights for express themselves, and most of the things that where the people that they talk, not to things that where the government cannot put itself in the cloud way all the time they for the same praise them. No, that shouldn't happen. That should not be the narrative. It shouldn't be the narrative at all, or not. So today we just want to talk good about which not happen, and then now begin make that the other African leaders they understand. Say the done now when the baton is now being passed to the young people now. People like Museveni, people like Paul Biya, people like Kangami, una need for understand. I mean, for say una welcome at the stage. I mean, Usagili today is over now. Una now need for begin, let democratic experiment take place. For let the nation transition into democracy now. You're like what not happen na Senegal. We thank God for this young man. We pray God say he will be guided by the fact say the citizens that they put out there, there are a lot of things and where they confront her now. So one thing that where you need for understand, not to just for the Caliban, they go up and on. They ride the country in play, they go up and no, not to that they elect her for. Yes, he go to come once and I make it appoint people them. He get forget ministers, he get forget ambassadors them. So that he go get forgive them. Waiting they call accreditation because when any minister goes on site, now not only they represent the country, but that the president is he represent. And everything where they go talk now waiting the president want. So let the citizens and see the leader, let it interact with them. He get for it. Not so now because he don't get power now, then he allow he assistant and go build a Berlin wall around. No, he cannot allow that. Don't the if you want the power, if they go to the people, then he also don't get the power that he need for they go to the people then. He need for be accessible to them. He need for sit down with the people and let they listen. Because only way he listen to the people, that he will get a feel of what they happen. Not to waiting he hates and they can't tell him, what you want. No. He need for they out there that the field meet the people, get a feel of what they go through. Then that way you're able to make involvement. But when you allow yourself for let them lock yourself inside the palace, now only waiting you want let you aids and tell you, or now only waiting 1 year, then they will tell you no. Rather go there on the wrong path. So, but we believe say this young man go understand say that in privileges you don't get an opportunity. When the city they don't get, you don't go misuse them, you don't go abuse them, and this now go act as a what they call inducement for other people then. And the hope here is that the African leaders now we don't become tight seat leaders them, we don't become totalitarian people then when they say power that they entitlement, when they come for power they're not able to go about that, let them change the mentality about that. Say no. Then you don't go into oblivion. Power is being derived from the people, by the people, and existing with a legitimate consent. Without the people power, you don't go. And again, finally, get the carry talk. That's they were mightier, we're more potent past the people power. When they resolve, when they say this, we don't get tired of this. This will not go take this from you. That happened to Macky Sall. But thanks again, they caught them. Yeah, again, they get a role for play. Yeah, that for make sure say the democracy that the country, is be one way nobody not go compromise them. They get for whole people they accountable under the law because their only job that for interpreting the laws and hold people they accountable. That the only thing that then they act as a bastion for the constitutional liberties of citizens. Without an effective judiciary, you're not talking of a nation. You're wasting time. Without an effective judiciary, you're not talking of a nation. Now, only when you get an effective judiciary in a nation, they will not go lay any more claims to be an egalitarian and just society where every citizen feel in a part and parcel of her. So again, one congratulates the new man and want this guy, Macky Sall say, the people power, he pass up. Waiting up in Senegal, then the message say the people, the power, no matter how much armed forces we unleash on the people there. Once the people they resolve, say no, what you want that will be now. And what people they want their power transfer to somebody else. Because Macky Sall, you not to you know, to the fountain of knowledge, you not get the solution. You know, you don't get monopoly over a solution to how Senegal for go before. Each and everybody in Senegal gets something for offer to us, the nation, economic, political, cultural, as well as social advancement of the country. So then in power that by turn you daily. When you don't turn come, you go. While you come there with grace, that's why if you accommodate with grace. But if you can't with grace, then you don't accommodate, then you accommodate with the disgrace. And no matter what happen, Makisana get you come up and power. Not so you give power voluntarily. Not so you give power voluntarily. There's no way we'll try for try for deny that narrative there, or try for twist the narrative in such a way that they not give up power follow, because if you give up you want to give up power, but before you make that first announcement say election no will take place. Now the stand up when they stand up to you, and we tell God thank you, the judiciary come back the people then. I don't mean this new donor. So the hope is that this new man we don't come down, he go understand how he get into office, and he go do everything possible for justify the confidence and trust where the citizens they don't put panel, and make sure say he don't abuse and misuse the office, and finally let understand say they're not elected as a global diplomat. They be the world diplomat. If they are today, if they are that tomorrow, every minute when they turn around, they elect for they do the people's work. For they do the people until then just put they wish everybody just about a very pleasant and blessed day.